So today, Treyarch just went and announced the final map coming to Vanguard Zombies, and let's look right at the tweet right away from Treyarch, and as you guys can see, it says, "Cortifex must die. Vanguard Zombie concludes in Season 5 with the Archon," and right under that, we do see the logo of the map. Now, we'll come back to the logo and the actual name of the map in a second, but two things first. First things first is something that Treyarch also points out in a follow-up tweet saying that, yes, it's round-based in case anybody was worried any other way. But then the next thing is actually when it's going to come out, which is kind of embarrassing for me because I just made a video the other day saying I was so sure it was coming out with Season 5 Reloaded. But oh my gosh, was I wrong once again, and it's actually coming out at the launch of Season 5, which is cool. It's happening sooner than later, but a little embarrassing for me. Regardless though, they don't exactly say when Season 5 is going to be happening, but as anybody who's played Call of Duty over the last few years can know, it's super easy to figure that out just by looking at the Battle Pass, and I've already done this in the past, and I can tell you that Season 5, and more importantly, the launch of the Archon, is going to be happening on August 24th, just a little bit over a week from now, which is cool to see, because one of the reasons I was so sure is happening with Season 5 Reloaded is because with Cold War, the final map in that game didn't come out till October, which was insane. But it just seems like we're kind of going back to normal, because in the past before that, every single final map came out in August, so it's nice to see we're kind of going back to that, I guess. Regardless though, that's going to be when it's coming out. But now to talk about a little bit more interesting things, starting off with the actual name of the map called the Archon. Like, what even does that mean? Well, a quick Google search will tell you that Archon is actually a Greek word for ruler, so you can just read this as the ruler. And why exactly would they call it the ruler? Well, I think it's obvious from the tweet where it says Cortifex must die, and as we know, he was the ruler of the Dark Aether, so it's definitely referring to him. And this is something I want to get into more here in a second, but one thing I'll mention before that is the actual logo and what it's made out of itself, because what we can notice is that it's kind of rocky, obviously, but it also has this red glow, and that's kind of similar to something we've seen in the past with Terra Maldicta, because in Terra Maldicta we actually went to the Dark Aether, and there we saw a very rocky area with a red glow, looking a little bit different, but I think the overall vibe is still there. And to me, what this is telling me is that potentially somewhere in this map is going to be a place where we actually play in the Dark Aether, because as we know, this map was told to us was going to be in Egypt, and we assumed maybe it's just going to be completely in Egypt, but now with this, it makes me believe that there's at least going to be a portion of this map taking place in the Dark Aether. Now, whether that's going to be a completely playable area or maybe even a boss fight arena, we're just not sure yet, but regardless, it does let us know that it's just not going to be in Egypt, which is kind of good, because I actually made a video talking about where they'll probably reuse stuff from campaign or possibly even multiplayer for this map that were also based in Egypt, and there wasn't that much areas, and if you guys want to check out that video, it'll be linked on screen now, but there wasn't that much areas, so it makes sense why they would have to at least incorporate something else besides just reusing the stuff that we've seen from campaign or multiplayer. But now to kind of digress back to the other point that I started to make about Cortifex and this map, because one thing I'm actually hopeful for on this map is not the side Easter eggs, not the map itself, not the wonder weapon or anything like that. What I'm really looking forward to is not really the Easter egg itself, because I imagine it's going to be quite simple like Shinonuma Reborn, but instead I'm actually hopeful for this boss fight, because I think it's all but certain that this map is going to finish off with the boss fight against Cortifex. Like, it just has to be, right? I mean, the map's literally called the ruler. It says Cortifex must die in the tweet, so I mean, it just has to happen, right? We have to do this final boss fight. I mean, possibly it could just be Von List, but that would be a little bit awkward, but I'm hoping that's not the case. Regardless, I think that if there is a Cortifex boss fight, like, this could actually be good, and that's as long as they at least make it somewhat difficult, because I'm a little worried they might do it like the Forsaken and the map Forsaken, when he wasn't very strong. He looked like he was supposed to be, but it wasn't really that difficult of a boss fight. I think that they should just make this boss fight a little bit difficult and a little bit epic, just for we could end off this otherwise turbulent year of zombies, at least with somewhat of a bang, with a decent boss fight, right? And you know, I just hope that's what happens, and I'm hopeful that actually might happen solely because of what I've already said. Kind of a side note though, to kind of end this all off, is that I also am curious to see if they'll tie in the actual Forsaken, because we all know how he was supposed to consume all the Dark Aether entities and gain all that power, but I don't know, I guess we'll have to see. Regardless though, that's about it for me. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. Is this something that looks interesting to you, or is it just that's cool, I guess? Either way, let me know down in the comment section below. But that's going to wrap it up for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all the great stuff. But I'm going to go catch you guys next stream, video, or when the heck it may be, and laters, guys.